Hello YouTubers! For the past few weeks I had a chance to test the Motorola Nexus 6 and I've decided to create a comparison video to show you how the device performs against the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. The video is divided into a few parts and there is a timeline in the description that lets you jump directly to the section of interest. Let's begin with the build and design. When placed side by side, the smartphones appear to be very similar in size. In reality, the Nexus 6 is actually quite significantly bigger. It has 159.3mm in length, 83mm in width and 10.1mm in thickness, whereas the Galaxy Note 4 is 153.5mm in length, 78.6mm in width and 8.5mm in thickness. The mass of the Nexus is also higher and the phone weighs 186 grams as compared to 176 grams in the case of the Note 4. Let's take a closer look at the build. On the top of the front panel we have a centrally located speaker in the Nexus 6 and the headset speaker in Note 4. On the right side both models have their respective front cameras. The Nexus comes with a 2MP selfie shooter, whereas the Note 4 has a 3.7MP module. Samsung has a notification LED light located on the left as well. The Nexus 6 does not come with a notification light, at least not out of the box. The XDA developer members actually found that in fact there is a small light located in the speaker hole. The Nexus has a bigger display with 6-inch diagonal, whereas the one in Galaxy Note 4 is 5.7-inch. Both panels are covered by Corning Gorilla Glass tempered glass. Glass on the Nexus is curved on the corners, what makes it easier to slide your finger from the edge of the display and makes it very comfortable to use. The edges of Note 4 on the other hand are sharp. Below the display, the Motorola has a second stereo speaker and the Note the characteristic for the Galaxy line capacitive buttons and the home button that hides the fingerprint scanner. On the left side, the Nexus 6 does not have any buttons, and that's where the volume rocker is located in the Note. On the bottom of both we have a centrally located micro USB port for charging, and Samsung additionally has two microphones and a slot for the S Pen. On the right side of the Nexus we have the volume rocker and the power button with a rough surface. The Note has the power button located here. Both the Note and the Nexus have their headphone jacks at the top. Samsung additionally has yet another microphone and the infrared sensor located here. That's where the hidden nano SIM tray is in the Nexus 6. On reverse, the Note 4 has a 16MP and the Nexus 6 a 13MP camera module. Both come equipped with autofocus and optical image stabilization, as well as an LED light. In Note 4 we have a single LED flash, whereas the Nexus has two LED lights. Below the camera of Motorola there is a classic indentation with Motorola logo and the Nexus sign. Samsung on the other hand has a heart rate monitor. The main speaker of the Note is also located in the left lower corner of the device. As opposed to the closed body design of the Motorola, the back cover of the Note 4 is removable, and below you'll find the micro SIM and micro SD slots as well as the removable battery. The main material used in the build of the body of both smartphones is aluminum and the back covers are made of plastic. The build quality is excellent in both. Higher width of the Motorola makes it slightly problematic to grasp with one hand, but either one is definitely a phablet. The Galaxy Note 4 is available with either an octa-core Exynos chip or a quad-core Snapdragon 805. Additionally, it comes with 3GB of RAM and 32GB of internal memory expandable by the microSD card slot. In Motorola Nexus 6 we have the quad-core Snapdragon 805 with 3GB of RAM and either 32 or 64GB of internal storage without microSD expansion. Both devices support LTE, Bluetooth 4.0, NFC, GPS and GLONASS. In Samsung, we additionally have the Beidou support as well as an IR sensor, heart rate monitor, fingerprint scanner and the S Pen. Nexus 6 has QI wireless charging support out of the box, and you'll need a special back cover sold separately for the Note to use this technology. Neither of the two comes with FM radio. In the Galaxy Note 4 we have a 5.7-inch Super AMOLED panel with 2K resolution and density of 515 pixels per inch. The screen in Nexus 6 is 6-inch, is also made in AMOLED technology and also has the 2K resolution. The density is slightly lower at 493 pixels per inch. It is hard to say which of the two is better, as both are simply excellent. Neither has problems with viewing angles, the maximum brightness is high in both, and the color is vibrant. My Nexus 6 unit had a slightly warmer display than the Note 4, but variations in colors can be present even in different batches of the same smartphone. The technical specification is not everything, and very often it is the good software optimization that matters more in everyday performance. The technical specification of both is on a similar level. My Galaxy Note 4 with Exynos achieved around 45,000 points in Antutu, whereas the Nexus managed to get over 52,000 points. In practice, both devices work very well, but I think that the Nexus takes an upper hand in terms of the overall interface responsiveness thanks to the clean version of Android OS. In my browser test, the Nexus would usually open a web page slightly faster than the Note as well. As you would expect from a device with the Nexus logo, the Motorola works on the newest version of stock Android 5.0 Lollipop. Galaxy Note 4 with the Exynos chip also received an update a few weeks ago, but the Snapdragon version users are still waiting for their turn. The Touch with Skin introduces a complete redesign to the interface, and I don't find it too pretty. In my opinion, the material design in new stock Android is gorgeous. But it's not all about the looks, and especially when talking about such large phones, functionality is key. The Note 4 comes with a richer selection of apps and increased functionality thanks to the S Pen. Additionally, features such as the multi-window mode or one-handed use make it easier to work on the big screen. Stock Android looks the same on Nexus 6 as it would on a Motorola Moto G, and there are no options that would aid in working on such a large display. I'm not going to talk about every feature of each device, as you'll find videos with software walkthroughs of both on my channel. I am sure that because the Motorola Nexus 6 comes with front-facing stereo speakers, you expect it to have a significantly better sound. This time your instincts are right, and the Nexus 6 has a cleaner and louder sound with a broader spectrum thanks to the front-facing stereo speakers. The one on Note 4 is not actually bad, but its location is far from being ideal. The situation changes when talking about the sound on headphones. I've tested both models with the Bowers & Wilkins P5 headphones that are characterized by a well-balanced sound. Vocals and high tones sounded good in both, but in rap music or Jackson's Love Never Felt So Good song, a stronger bass and slightly louder and more dynamic sound was produced by the Note 4 with the Wolfson audio chip. The Galaxy Note 4 comes with the 3220 mAh lithium-ion battery, and in the Motorola Nexus 6 we have the lithium polymer one with the same capacity. Bigger display in the Nexus 6 should in theory result in a shorter battery life, but the software optimization is key to long battery life. During my 30-minute video streaming from YouTube test at maximum display brightness, both devices achieved similar results. The battery level dropped by 8% in Samsung and by 9% in Motorola. During everyday use, I found that the Nexus actually performed better. I would normally get around 4 hours of screen on time with the Note, and I sometimes struggled to get through a full day with my intensive use. The Nexus, on the other hand, will usually give an hour more of screen on time and would easily last me through a full day of use. Both feature some battery saving options, but the Note 4 has an extreme power saving mode that will let you get even a few days of standby time with the last few percents of battery. Now let's talk about the cameras. In Motorola Nexus 6, the main unit is the 13-megapixel Sony IMX214 module with a high aperture of f/2 and optical image stabilization. In Note 4 we have a 16-megapixel module with a slightly lower aperture of f/2.2 and also the optical image stabilization. In the front, the Nexus has a 2-megapixel and the Samsung a 3.7-megapixel selfie camera. So at first, just a few words about their respective camera apps. As is usually the case with the devices from the Nexus series, the camera app is very limited. We have a cool HDR Plus mode and a few other settings, but that's pretty much it. In Samsung, on the other hand, there are a ton of different shooting modes such as dual capture and also filters or scene selection. Both camera apps rely on automation and neither offers the possibility of manually adjusting advanced picture parameters. Let's take a look at the quality of pictures. The back camera of both smartphones produces very satisfying results in good lighting conditions. The lenses are slightly different, so it's hard to compare images side by side. It seems like the Note 4 did produce better results in more demanding shots. Also at night, the photographs from Note 4 were brighter and had higher detail levels. The Nexus seems to set the ISO too low and produce dark images. In terms of selfie shots, neither of them does particularly well, but the Note, with its wider angled lens and higher resolution of the selfie camera, takes an upper hand and does do slightly better. At the end, just a few words about the quality of the video. Both devices recorded a maximum resolution of Ultra HD 4K, but Samsung comes with a wider selection of video recording modes, such as for example the slow motion or HDR recording, which are not present in the Nexus. The recordings look well from both devices, but the autofocus was significantly faster in the Note 4. Which smartphone is the comparison winner? The choice is not an easy one. In Note 4 we have higher functionality and a lot of things that lack in Nexus 6, such as the support for S Pen, replaceable battery, microSD slot or IR sensor, and fingerprint scanner or heart rate monitor. The Nexus 6 on the other hand comes with glass with rounded edges, front-facing stereo speakers, and the stock Android with guaranteed prompt updates to the next versions. You can't really go wrong with either one, as they're the smartphone superclass. Which one would you choose, and is the better choice in your opinion? I look forward to your comments, hope you enjoyed the video and that you'll visit my channel again. Thanks for watching.